Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hello.
Ah,
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, wow. This is episode 21. 21 episodes in the year
Mm,
that
mm,
has
mm.
been 2023. So proud of
Wow.
us, sis.
I'm really proud of us. I'm proud of what we've created. And it makes me feel like so fulfilled. I really
Mm,
love when things get created and they're fulfilling. And
mm,
yeah, I mean, because, and this is not part of bragging or arrogance. It's just the reality. You and I both, and many of our listeners, we've had a lot of success in life, a lot of things that we've accomplished and achieved, and all of that. For me, that stuff is outside of me. And so, yeah, I'm proud of it. This is not that. Like, this feels like fulfillment. And so, your traditional success metrics, I've never even considered. This was more like, are we filling our cups? Are we overflowing in that filament that we're nourishing others? Does it feel aligned? Like, this feels good. I'm really proud. I think
mm.
we have done what we set out to do, and there's so much more. So I'm
So
fulfilled
much
and
more.
excited.
Uh, so with this being the finale, the finale, if you will, of the year, y'all might not know this, but Stacy and I know the hustle game real well.
What?
Um, so much so to the point that when I've now since and probably will still forever be working through the word hustle holds something in my nervous system that really does not feel pleasurable. Like when I hear hustle, I am immediately put into like, oh gosh. And it's all that corporate programming of the
Mm.
fire drills. Who knows those? Raise your
Woo,
hand. If you're
hands up.
driving and
Mm.
listening, be careful. Don't raise both.
Don't raise
Like,
your hand.
ooh. So
Ah.
I just, it's just so on our hearts because we were talking a little bit before we started airing today around like still this community that is growing. We love all of you. This has been a pure place of literally being still
Mhm.
and not going into that old hustle programming because we could have really
Mm.
easily pushed this one through because it was it was on the radar of something that we would be creating like far before August 8/8 this year. We launched still. And we're sharing this with you all because maybe you are in a project. Maybe you are in you have a goal on your plate and there's the part in you that really wants to like push it through, but not all the pieces are feeling like they're there. And then I think we all know we've pushed it through and it's then you get that to the finish line and you're like you're left lacking something. So
Yeah.
I
And you're
give props to
depleted
us for
and you're
not pushing.
exhausted. Um,
Oof.
yeah, you know what? In my older age, I have, I've really created just another barometer for myself. And it's been like whether I'm, worldly hustling, like hustle, hustle, go, or I'm in the spiritual hustle, like, woof, this has to get taken care of. Let me channel and download like everything I need, right? At the end of the hustle, if I feel depleted, exhausted, drained, and just blech, um, that tells me that I didn't do it the way that I intended. But if I get to the end of it, and I do some checkpoints along the way, but if I get to the end of it and I'm feeling energized. I still might be physically tired, but I feel energized and lit up and can't wait for the next milestone or the next thing. Like, yeah, ooh, it feels juicy. It feels good. Oh, that's the hustle I'm down for. That's what I'm all about. And that's my new barometer. So anything that I'm working on, a project or anything in my business or dissertation, the minute it starts to feel like it's suffocating, closing in on me, just ugh, I have to stop. I have to still myself, unintended, go through my own rituals and practices to bring myself back to my why. Like, what was this all for anyway? And maybe my why has shifted. And that's why the hustle feels like, ugh, like, oh, yeah, that's not driving me anymore. Okay.
Mm.
So what are we doing? Which direction do we get to go? Like, it's okay to pivot, but that just hustling for hustle's sake, oh no, ma'am. Mm-mm. That is that is no longer a
Mm-mm.
part of my life. Or hustling for someone else's thing, deadline, dream, whatever. Sometimes we have to because that's our job or whatever the thing is, but still understanding my why in doing it, then I get to hustle for that. It's not for someone else's anything. I'm hustling for myself,
Yeah.
for what I need, but it has to energize me. And it has to be so much fun. Like this creation is so much fun with you, Jill. Like I can't even,
I
it's
have to say,
a
here's the
blast.
piece. We're gonna put this out there because I think we've like shared it a little bit, but we all just we want you all to know what's possible. Like Stacè and I had not met in person until October of this year.
Right.
So soak this in just for a moment because we do live in an age where tech and Zoom and all of these things are available, FaceTime at our fingertips to connect with people worldwide. And I guess the question coming in is like, and what are you doing with this gift?
Right.
Because it's up to the individuals, which in this case, us, to really dedicate ourselves to like how deep we would be willing to go in a virtual scenario in our conversations and how we showed up for each other legit virtually without meeting in person, without actually ever hugging each other, like seeing in real time facial expressions, like creating that safety to be able to like be super messy, which I think is supportive when you've met in person. Um, and we were all of those things before we actually met in October. And I know how absolutely special that this is. I know that this relationship that we've cultivated is very, very rare. Um, and the amount of lessons and teachings I gain from you, maybe like that's it. Maybe we both hold, I don't even think respect's the word, but just like maybe just such an open heart of
Mm-hmm.
let me see her. And I'm going to tell you all the times when I'm like, this is coming up and this is really uncomfortable, but like, damn, I'm feeling this sort of
Mm.
way about something. I don't know I don't know that we give ourselves permission to be that even in relationships where we've met or known the person for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, there's so many lessons shared between us. And this whole virtual thing, all right, I'm going to back up a little bit because I want it to go away and it won't. So here we go. Um, it used, I used to really get irritated when people would freak out about virtual relationships. And that was all on me, not having the patience to to work through it with the person. But that's only because I had been working in a virtual world full time, I don't know, for like at this point, like 15 something years. So none of this was new to like building relationships across geographic borders and across all these time zones. Like that was just natural for me because I had done it for so long. And I knew like the pitfalls of not being fully authentic and showing up and having an open heart. That relationship is not going to get built. You will not establish and build trust. You won't nurture the relationship if you're not there, right? Um, and so yeah, I didn't have a lot of patience for people who would be like, oh, well, I don't really know him or I don't really know her. It's just this, it's just that. I'm like, I have cultivated some of the most beautiful things in a virtual world that I could have never had in my life because that person lives in another country, in another state, or wherever the case is. And I also know I I feel like I was built for this because I left home at 17, never really coming back except for like weddings, funerals, like, stuff like that. And so my closest friends and my parents, my whole home unit, we had a relationship that was back then called long distance. It was always over the phone. So I had to learn how to cultivate closeness and intimacy and vulnerability. And so walking into this with you, it was very familiar. But what was very different was that you kept calling me forward to raise the bar. And I was like, we can't be that
Hmm.
vulnerable with each other. Like we literally just met. I usually do this
I don't
over
know if I don't think I
years.
gave you an option.
Exactly. I was trying to put it
Anybody,
gently, like calling
anybody
me
that knows
forward.
me.
No, 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 it wasn't that
Well,
gentle. Jill
I
was
was
just
in a
like,
real,
boom, here we go. We're gonna be really intimate and really vulnerable, and bam, this is it. I'm like, no, we have to like stair step into this.
we got to dance.
No, no.
No
But I
dancing.
appreciate that about you. And I love the clarity that you walked into this with. Like, this is what I desire to create. And so this is how I show up. And to my surprise, I was able to bypass like what I thought was the process. Like we do this for several years and we really get to know each other and cultivate it and build it. We were able to collapse time because we both had the same, and we didn't speak it like, hey, my name is Stacey. Hey, I'm Jill. We're going to create this incredible relationship. It wasn't that. It was just the presence of each other made that clear. It's like, oh, this is going to be someone who's in my life in a really special way. And I don't even know what that means, but okay, I'm along for the ride. And that for me was a lot of vulnerability that I just don't share. Like I'm a really, really private person. Like I
Yeah.
just don't share. I don't mind if anybody else shares, like I'm here for it. Give me all your stuff, but
Well,
I
and
don't.
that's how that's how we started out. I was in a really, really, really low place.
Yeah.
And I have no idea other than the love I could feel emanating from you, why my soul chose you to like be a landing place. Um, yeah, I can get emotional because it was a really, really, really tough time in life.
Yeah, yeah. And I
And
I
and
could
it
see
was
that and I could feel
yeah.
that and sense it even when you weren't saying something yet. And so I had to get in my prayer closet, and that was when I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm here and I feel like this being needs something really different in her life right now. And I don't want to impose and I don't want to intrude. And I want to be open and I want to let her know that like I'm here whenever you're ready. I'm here. I can hold all of this. I can handle all of this. um and I had to pray. It's like I just needed to know, like this was something I learned from praying about my husband before. Anyway, we were together, we had a breakup, got back together, and then we got married. Okay, so when we were getting back together, it's like, ooh, can I trust him with my heart? Because once I know that, that no matter what anything looks like, the answer is yes. Still be there, still show up. Yes, you might be hurt. Yes, you might be disappointed. Yes, you might be upset, angry, whatever. Still be there because you can trust your heart with this person. And so going through that prayer, I was like, yes, Stace, you you can open yourself to her. You can allow trust to be there in a way that you wouldn't ordinarily do, and you can do it now. Like it doesn't have to take years. Like you can do it now. It's like, okay, well then I'm here. And so the minute you drop that first little breadcrumb, I was like, ah, let's eat, let's go. Come
Ooh,
on. We're all in. I'm just gonna give you all that I have, and I'm gonna receive all that you have for me. And we can ruffle each other's feathers and we can incense each other and we can be goofy and giggly. And like, I'm here for all of it. I'm
mm,
here. I'm so here for it. And I know that that's why Still was able to be created because we built this. For those of you who can't see, I'm making this like fist. Like we built this, and then Still was like this wrapping. Like I just want to be in
the
it. So
blankets.
fully integrated. Yeah, the
Mm.
covering of us. And it was like, but we're not. We were clear though. Like we're not getting ready to like, what's the project plan? And we have these deadlines and blah blah blah. No, it's like we're not prepared. And what that used to translate for me was I'm not ready. And so if I'm not ready, I don't go. The Virgo in me, the recovering perfectionist in me is like, no, 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 no. We're not ready. We don't go. It's like, it's not about being ready. We're ready because the idea came. So we're ready. We
Yeah.
just weren't prepared. Like, oh, we need microphones. Oh, what's the technology we need? Oh, what is it even going to be? How do we do it? You
Well,
know,
let's be
just
clear. I
craziness.
was not as concerned about those pieces. So this is also
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're in a collaboration. I think
Oh
it
my
is this is
gosh.
what's been supportive of, is we are on opposite scopes when a little bit when in create not a little bit, we just
I was
are.
going to say not a little bit.
When in creation of a vision or a goal, and this is where Stacey is really supportive to the structure, because you are very much in the plan and here's the organization. Not that I am not like that, but I have found outside of corporate me and inside entrepreneur, like this high practicing level of listening that I've incorporated into my being, I will be much more in flow. So when the vision comes, I'm like, well, no, Stacey, it's okay. And Stacey, you would be like, no, we don't have a plan. I don't have the microphone. What are we gonna do? I'm like, well, we start with Zoom. That's it. That's all we need. We have
Right.
Zoom.
And I'm all on the other end, like, what? Like if I leave it up to you,
What what
we
are
would
we
be
doing?
on our phones, like,
We
hey,
would have
what's
been.
up?
By
This
the
is what we're
way,
doing.
this is an important piece here.
And that's not wrong, by the way.
No, this is an important piece here. Because how we did birth this, if you are listening to the like, if you ever, I mean, if you're like me, most of the time I fast forward through like the intro and you might hear the song, right? And the humming, and then you might hear our voices and the whole intro and outro. It's important for us to share. This literally was done on our phones and sent to me. I am by no means a producer at all. Shout out to Stacy's dad because because we could have very much went into the story of we need to hire somebody, like this is we
Right.
need a team beyond the two women team that we do have currently. Thank you, Braidley and
Mm-hmm.
Bailey. But like I'm sharing this, like this really was, I don't want to say piecemeal together, but we just were very
No.
much entrusting. Like this was a pure, when we say, do what you can with what you have. I tell clients that all the time. Do what
Yeah.
you can with what you have. then be amazed at like what opens up, what can flourish from there. Because folks probably don't even know. Like this is how this is how this was.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that. And there's also the part of me like, oh my God, you shared that. But no, that's so true and that's so real because so many times whatever someone puts out in the world, we just see the finished product. Like we don't know what really happened behind the scenes. And so for someone like me, recovering perfectionist, Virgo energy, like it has to be right, has to be perfect, all of that. It's like, you don't ever share how the sausage was made. Like you don't do that. But that is the
Mm-hmm.
reality. And that was such a growth edge for me. And I am not here to say that I'm on the other side of it. But in the moment, that was such a growth edge for me to use my voice in that way for something that meant so much for me because
So
y'all can
It's
probably
Stacy's voice.
tell,
So y'all know.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's out
yeah.
there.
Y'all can
Oh,
probably tell. For those of you who know music and vocals and stuff, like I was in there straight up raggedy because I was like, I have not sung in at least 20 years, at least. And I was like, and you can tell, like my voice is rusty. I was probably all over the place with pitch and tone and all of it. I just knew that the spirit was moving through me with a particular melody and with particular words. And to Jill's point, it was like, well, so do we try to translate that to someone and then have them sing it and do it and pay for this or arrange for this? Is like, no. Jill was like, no, 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 we're just going to do it. I'm not a producer, but I know a little something about a little something, and so
very
send
little.
me the audio file. Send me the audio file. I was like, audio file? No, you're supposed to sing into a mic. And but anyway,
I said,
I
do it on
remember
your
being
phone.
in that closet on my phone because at the time, this is hilarious. At the time, my husband, whose office is on the other side of this wall, he was delivering a presentation. And so I couldn't be over here like, like whatever the thing is. Like I couldn't.
No,
And I
that's
was
it.
like quietly in here on my phone, like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, he can hear that. Oh, ooh. No. I was like, let me go in the closet in the room. So I'm in the closet, in the room, on my phone, and then you could hear the wind, air, whatever coming on. It's like finally, I was like, listen, this is just going to have to work because we said episode 1 is launching 8/8. And I'm not going to let my perfectionism and my need for everything to be right to stop the progress. Like,
Mm.
no. Okay. So I had to really get over fears and insecurities. Like, they're all going to laugh at me. They're going to judge me. I'm like, you know what? Okay. They probably are. And that's okay. I don't sit here like, oh, I'm a vocalist. I'm a singer. I used to be. I'm not anymore. And I still get to use my voice.
Mm.
So even before episode 1 aired, Jill and I had some big like hustle hurdles we were dealing with tech and timing and all of it. And Jill, I mean, bless you, my goodness, you you just took this so seriously. And I'm so glad because Jill was
Oh,
like, I'm not a producer. You're trusting me with your voice. And I want to make it sound so good. I was like, listen, anything you do is going to make it sound better than what I did. So I'm
let
in
me
full
tell
trust. So
you.
that's where I got to hold you. It just
Yeah.
was a beautiful way to come together and do the best with what we had. And then reflecting back, realizing, as always, we had everything we needed. We had everything we needed. We
And
didn't
on
need
my
it all.
side, I mean, I think I've told you this. There was an immense amount of pressure because I self-induce loads of pressure. If anyone else out there does that, I'm sure. So beyond like I have a perfectionist in me as well, I can sit her down like pretty easily at this point. But the pressure of knowing how much this was for you to show up after years and years of not using your voice in a like singing melody manner um was like, oh, my heart was just like, okay, we've got to get this to some sort of level of some sort of like quote unquote professionalism that like sounds somewhat like okay, just enough, like just enough to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all, when I sat down in front of because I have my editing software, which I know some, like I can do an okay job on like the editing pieces, but I really had to talk about prayer closet. Like I really said so many prayers, Stacey, of like,
Mm.
allow this to come through and how this should be delivered, like for the world, like in the way in which the melodies will overlap and like da da da, because it's a lot of splicing and dicing and like overlaying. Anybody out there, sure, is much better than me at doing audio production. But like the trust that both of us we hand over time and time again within this project
Yeah,
is so cool. Like it's just
it
it's
is. And you
so
did a
cool.
phenomenal job. And it's so cool. And I feel like that's the piece that for me helps the hustle is
Mm,
because I know who I'm in this with. And I know that there's full and complete trust. There's nothing I can't come to you with. And that for me changes everything. It's like, oh, we need to hustle to get this done, or oh my gosh, we want this guest and their only time availability is this, or like whatever comes up. It's like, you know what? I fully trust us. Like what we've created, I trust us. I trust that you're going to show up in your gifts naturally, effortlessly, one to calm me and all of my oh my gosh, we need a plan, what's the 16 strategic point plan, like all of my craziness with
she
that.
loves a strategic plan.
I'm really trusting that okay, Jill's gonna have to like hold my hand with this one because woof woof, and I fully trust myself to show up in all of my gifts, and I trust that how our gifts play together just is so natural, like it's not forced. And to have never met until October, like yeah, that's just not, like you said, it's rare. It's just rare. And now that we have met, I'm just like, blah, blah, okay, yes, you can have it all. Here's all my
Hey,
stuff. Here's all my stuff.
here we
You get
are.
all the gifts. You get all of the challenges. You get
Ooh,
all my
I
ish.
guess we can
Here
give
you go.
shout out to my mama because I was like, nah,
Oh, Mama
it's it.
Jolene. Ooh, this is a wise woman.
She says everything's gonna change after you meet in person. You know that, right? And I'm like, nah, mom, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be the same. No, it has changed. Fine. Yes. Okay, mom.
Mama is right. Mama is right. And
Ooh,
even
we love
hearing
our
her on the
moms.
phone when we were in person together, and you told me she said that, right? But then hearing her on the phone, it was like her excitement level like went up a notch. She's like, oh, you girls are meeting. This is exciting. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe she's right. I don't know. Maybe she's right. Because we remember we planned on doing an episode while we were together.
Yeah, we
And
really wanted
as
that,
spirit
but
would have it, it was like, no, this time is
we spent
consecrated
too
for
much time in
this.
this little diner.
In the diner, we spent too much time. Well,
Just
we spent
being
the
with
right
each
amount of
other.
time doing all the things we
Not
needed to
too
do.
much. Mm.
But yeah, it shifted, it changed in the best way. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, it just reminded me of like Brian and I meeting in an airport that, billions of people go through airports, right? We meet in an airport and we both knew at that moment, like, oh, that's my person.
Mm.
Oh, oh, what just happened? And then for us to date long distance for 5 years and not like be in each other's presence. And then to go from dating long distance 5 years to, oh, now we're married in the same house. Like there was no
Mm,
dating in the same city. It was that same kind of thing with you. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we met on Zoom and like all the things, but that in person, like we're in it now, it does change things
mm.
completely, completely change things. Oh, and in the best way. It feels so
Ooh,
good.
ooh. I love your love. Shout out to Brian.
Oh, my man,
I
my
can't wait to
honey,
meet him
honey,
in person.
honey.
We gonna do that sometime.
All right. It's
The
gonna be
men's gets to
epic.
meet. Yeah.
It's gonna be so epic because I feel like the two of you are so alike in so many ways. And I feel like Nick and I
You
are
and Nick,
so alike in so many ways.
y'all can plan things. It'd be great.
Oh yeah, it's
That'd be a
funny.
great time.
Um, I'm curious for you,
Well,
Jill, and I know we chatted
yeah.
about it, so we can wrap up. Um, since the beginning of Still, because we set out to create something else, and Still was like, nah, players, you're gonna create me first. So we're here. But since the
And
beginning of this
players
to
like to play.
now,
Sorry, that song. Keep going.
let's put it in. Yeah, put it in. Um, like what has shifted for you? Like what's different for you? I
Mm,
don't know, if anything. Like, do you feel the same about Still, or do you feel differently? I don't know.
mm. This is my landing pad every week when we get to have these conversations that um uh, it's like a really high level therapy sesh for my soul. It's like a soul
Mm,
sesh. It's a soul sesh. I love it so much. This does not feel like labor at all. Um,
mm-mm,
I have just really learned to a deeper level of yes, you have an idea. So we had an idea for a retreat and we were able to pause because it was not in full alignment. And that is for me a deep level of work that I'm in and have been in this year of recognizing no, this is not time yet, and to pause instead of hustle because the hustle is
mm-hmm,
easy for me at this
mm-hmm,
juncture. And so this creation just really feels so much different. And because we were able to pause on the retreat and allow still to be birthed from this initial idea of how we can give and be and reach all of these people, 2024 2024 is going to be very special. So
mm.
that's how I will answer. I'll flip it over to you. Um, yeah,
I love your
just
answer.
I love this.
Ooh, yeah, same, same. This for me doesn't feel like labor. And I'm always making the distinguishing argument that labor versus work. Um, yeah, this for me is what I look forward to every week. This for me is what reminds me of how I intend to operate in my business, like to come from that place of still, to approach it with the fun that we approach still with, to be in it with like complete devotion and care. um and yeah, all kinds of good therapy and counseling for sure. And I mean, how cool is it, if you want to call it a job, but how cool is it to be at work and to be able to say, I love you, or to be like goofy and giggly and still be taken seriously, to show up and not be feeling like, oh, I'm not enough, or oh, I'm too much, I'm too much. It's like, no, you just get to be. We just get to show up and we just get to be and trust that whatever comes from that is exactly what is needed for the moment.
Mm.
That Oh, yeah. Yeah, I look forward to that every week. Yeah, that excites me. Looking at show notes and descriptions and summaries and all the things that I thought I would have absolutely no interest in. I'm all about it. So when Bailey is like, hey, can you look at this? Can you do that? Or Bradley's like, hey, I got this schedule to go out. Are you good with it? Yes, I want to see all the things because I'm really excited about what gets created through us.
Mm,
And that is something that, you know, really bubbles over into other areas of my life. And so, yes, for
mm.
2024, there are, some things, my boy T.I. says big things popping, baby. We got some
I love
things.
Tia.
Don't get me started. Everybody knows.
Big things pop. No, what's the other song?
Everything I knows.
Laying back. Yeah. Okay. Well, um,
Shout out to
just what an
T.I. and his
epic
whole
year.
family.
We love it. Gonna go to Atlanta. We could do a live series from Atlanta. Um,
Better come
y'all,
today.
we are sending you so much love, and we're really
Ah,
excited to close out this year with you, wherever you're at, and be on the lookout. If you're inside our still community, thank you. If you want to be in the know of all of the things, head over to our website, stilloriginalpodcast.com. Like, subscribe, please keep sharing if an episode pings your
yeah.
heart of like, this person in my life could use this nugget. Go to minute 10 and just tune in, that's what we all need. That's what we all need in our lives, are
Mm-hmm.
people like that hold us in our highest. So thank you, Stacè, for this year and
Mm.
all the ways that you be.
Oh, thank you. I
Hmm.
received that. And thank you, Jill, for all the ways that you be. And thank you for always holding me and holding me higher than I feel I can go in moments. I so appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um, we do a lot, I know, in your friend circle and family and all that. We do a lot to hold people high. Like it's naturally who we are. I hold you high. I really do. I see you as powerful. I see you as sovereign, like all of that good stuff. And it's like, well, where do we go to get that? And it's not that they don't give it to us, but like, yeah,
Hmm.
when you have this, oh, it feels so right and so aligned. And I'm so grateful for you seeing the me in me and saying, yeah, let's go have fun, let's go play, let's go create. So thank you for
Hmm.
all the things that you have given in this year for still and for me personally. And wow, I cannot wait to see. We already know some of what's being created for 2024, but I can't wait to see all the things that we don't even know yet.
They're our favorite.
This
Ooh,
journey with you is
ooh, ooh,
incredible. Thank
ooh,
you.
ooh. All right, y'all. Sending you big love. Until
Oh,
next
so
time,
much love. So much love.
we'll see you in 2024. Ooh.
Mwah. Love you.